Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Live Team Alliance training session for Monday, April 29th, 2019. Time right now is approximately 9:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we get started with training, as usual, I would like to welcome our new students, those of you who are joining us in training for the first time. Welcome. Whether you're watching this live or you're watching the replay of this, you have made a wise decision by choosing to train here. This is a very powerful learning environment to be in, and you're going to learn a great deal of information about the market. You're going to learn how we interpret the market's behavior, how we recognize the correct environment to be in. A lot of detailed stuff that's going to be eye-opening for you. More importantly than that, you're going to learn a lot about yourself during this process as well, because the market is like a mirror, and it's going to show you exactly who you are right now. Don't find it strange if you begin to see little things about yourself, such as the lack of patience, and the lack of wanting to just stick to what it is that you're learning and that you're training to do. If you decide to deviate and do something else, don't be surprised by the fact that you'll do that, because this is what most people do. Not to say that you're going to do that, but like I'm saying, don't be surprised if you do, because that's what the majority of people do, because they do not realize to what degree they lack patience and discipline. So it's something that kind of comes with the program, and that's why I'm giving you the forewarning if you happen to do it, so that once you do, you say to yourself, oh man, this is what Mark was talking about. Damn. And then you correct it and you stop doing it. We like to focus on the positive aspect of what we're here to achieve and not dwell on the negative things that we have created for ourselves as far as habits. One of the things that is going to help you the most is out of the gate doing what you're trained to do. If you listen to trainings and you absorb this information, that's literally doing what you're trained to do, because that's the instruction that is given to you in every training, to watch the training again, watch the next training that we recommend that you watch, etc., etc. There's a reason for that, and it's primarily because as you're training and you're listening, you are unlearning a lot of bad behavior that you already have within yourself. And you're going to need that, because in order to execute profitably and to be consistent as far as the market goes, you need behavior to be within you. In other words, you need the right behavior to be present with you. If you are deviating away from that, you could very simply just be doing what you're already used to doing, which is not displaying discipline, not displaying patience. If you're already used to doing that, it's not new for you. You see, you're used to that. What's going to happen is you're going to transition away from that, and you're going to learn how to become patient. You're going to learn how to begin to exercise discipline. And for some people, this is a painful process, because it's a fight. Your brain is literally wrestling with the idea of you trying to teach it something new. Okay? To learn patience is something new for most people. That's why your brain is resisting. That's exactly why you'll say, oh man, I need to make money now though. This is great, but I need to make money right now. See, that's your brain already in the existing state that you're in. You already have no patience. That's why you even saying that. But Mark, I want to make money. Okay. What does that even mean? Like, if you really just think about what you say and what you actually do the follow up what you're saying, it really doesn't make any sense, because you're saying that, but is that what you're doing? Why are you here in the first place? Are you here because you're making money in the market? Probably not. As a matter of fact, you're not here because of that. You're here because you're not making money consistently in the market. You see? So there's already existing evidence of the fact that your current behavior is leading to you not making money in the market. So how do you think that's going to change? You think that you're going to just magically snap your fingers and you're going to start making money? No, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. What's going to happen is you're going to have to change from the inside out, not from the outside in. You can't change that way. In other words, no one is going to give you the secret formula to making money, because it doesn't exist. Whatever it is that you are perceiving to be that, if it existed, don't you think somebody would already be doing it? Who you know that's doing that? Nobody. Because it don't exist. It's not true. So we want to deal with reality. The reality is that you have already inherently developed terrible habits. One of them is the lack of patience. Another one is the lack of discipline. And the reason that when you hear that you get a little frustrated is because you know that it's true. So I'm not here to badger you about it. I'm really just here to help you to see that that's what you already do. And the reason that that is important is because when you acknowledge that you're doing something, that's the very beginning of stopping that behavior. You got to acknowledge that that's what you're doing. And it'll come. You'll say to yourself, damn, I don't have no patience. I see now why I've been losing. And what will happen is you'll be listening to these trainings, you'll be watching, you'll be seeing the way that we're looking at the market, you'll be listening to me talking, you'll be listening to various people in the group speaking on the trainings, and eventually you'll realize, wow, everything that they're talking about is right. You may not get that at first. As a matter of fact, you may not understand anything for a while, but just continue to watch the trainings. Continue to listen to them. What is happening is you're going to be trained from the inside out. And I can't reiterate that enough, because what it means is now you're dealing with more than just you and the surface level. We're not dealing with your conscious brain, your conscious mind. We're going past that. We're bypassing your conscious mind and going deep into your subconscious mind. That's why you have to just listen to trainings repeatedly. Like literally. Like get some earbuds or something to plug into your ears and just press play all the time. Well, Mark, what about when I'm out eating? Perfect time. If you got a wife that got to talk, put one in your ear and you know, make sure your other ear is there to hear what she's talking about. But leave one in your ear. Like, and I'm saying like little stuff like this jokingly, but I'm not joking. I'm serious. Like, everyone that's been training here for a while knows that when I say that, I'm dead serious. Like, I don't care where you are, you should be training. Well, why? Why do you train like that? Because this is the way that you change. You can't change if you don't train. Well, why do you want to change? Because you're losing now. Do you want to stop losing? How are you going to stop losing? You got to stop doing what you've been doing. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because whatever your habits are don't work in order to produce those results that you're looking for, period. So what do I got to do? You got to undo them. You got to change your behavior. Well, how do I do that? You got to train. The answer to everything is always training. So what we're going to get into is the training now. I like to do that in the beginning because that is a very subliminal process. When you hear that whole spiel that I just did, and you keep hearing that on every training, you're hearing a different variation of it every night. We're talking about the same thing. Patience, discipline. That's all you hear. Patience, discipline. You're going to hear that until your brains are going to get so tired of hearing it that it's going to let it in. Eventually, your brain will let this in. And when it lets it in, that's when it starts to change. That's when you start to do certain things that you were not doing before. Like not taking a trade. Like observing. Like not being thirsty. Not getting anxiety. It's going to flip. But the way that it flips is you have to be trained from the inside out. Not from the outside in. Okay, so understand that. That is very, very important. I can't stress that enough. It is very powerful, and this is going to prove itself to you. It's not just me talking and, you know, I know that this sounds like, well, I thought I was here learning about the market. This dude is talking about psychiatry. No. You think that it's that. It's really not. You're just dealing with yourself. That's what it is. What do you think the market is? The market just reflects human behavior. Who do you think is controlling the money that's going into the market that's moving it around? Who moves the money? People. Are people psychological? Of course. 95% of everything that we do is in the brain. The other 5% is the responses to what we're doing in the brain. Your body can't do nothing unless your brain tell it to. So anyway, we're going to get into the actual training now. And for those of you who are new, video number 301 is the training that you want to start off with. That training is like the solid foundation that you need. And the reason that I'm saying that is because literally you can start with 301, and every training after that that you watch is just like 301 times whatever, you know, it's amplified. It's a variation of 301. So when you start with 301 and you keep listening to it on repeat, you're building your foundation. And you need foundation so that everything else that you begin to learn becomes so much simpler and so much easier to understand. You're not going to get it until you break through whatever the block is that your brain has up to the information. Because like I said, at first you're like, oh, I don't know what any of this means. What is an MH? What is this MRMH that they keep talking? What is that? I just want to take a trade and win. What the heck is MRMH? This is how your brain is right now. You know, you came here, you're like, man, I want to win like I see you guys winning. All right, well, there's a reason that we win. The main reason that we win is because we avoid losing. Ooh, you didn't know that, huh? See, it's different. It's not what you're thinking that it is on the surface. That's why I said all of this sinks into you subconsciously. You're being trained from the inside out. So you can't have the results on the outside until you have the skill and the training on the inside. But realize that there is a block. Your brain is blocking the information first. It's not letting it in right away. And that's what I want you to be prepared for. Don't be afraid of that. Your brain it has a defense mechanism to it. It's literally like, nah, we ain't letting that in. Nah, nope, no new stuff. We're comfortable. We're good with what we're doing right now. Yeah, but right now what you're doing is losing. So your brain is good with losing because that's the behavior that you created in your mind. All of the behaviors and all the things that you do, you're comfortable with doing, even though it's not producing a result that you want. Your brain is good with it, though. You see? So now that you're trying to change that, now your brain got a problem with that. Brain's like, nah, man. Nah. It's talking to you. Nope. And you're like, nah, I'm pressing play. Let me play 301 again. Brain's like, nope. Let me play 301 again. Brain's like, I told you no. Let me play 301 again. Brain's like, whoa, why you keep playing this? Let me play 301 again. Brain's like, wait, he ain't going to stop playing this. Let me play 301 again. Brain is like, oh, shit, we got to start letting some of this in because I think that he wants this. He must really want this. All right, we're going to start letting a little bit in. Light bulbs coming on. Now you start to understand, like, oh, my God, I'm just realizing that MH, wow, that's what we're looking for. That's the behavior. Oh, that's how the price is. This is what starts happening. You start understanding stuff in the video. Start understanding stuff that we're repeating on training all the time. It might have took you 12 plays. It might have took you 20 plays. You might have had to play the video 35 times just to accept the backtick. You didn't know what a backtick was until you played it for the 31st time. 31st time you played, oh, I understand the backtick now. Now I get it. And you're doing this the whole time, from the beginning. And I like to talk about this because I'm always confident that the best training and the best knowledge comes from when we're able to reverse engineer you. If you can reverse engineer yourself, the training process and the learning curve becomes so much easier for you. So what I like to do is get the consensus on how people don't understand things. Because it's your lack of understanding that's going to open up the door to you getting understanding. Because that's what we're going to drill on in the training. You see how that works? That's why I want you guys to always ask questions. Like even right now, I haven't said anything yet about any of the actual market stuff yet. But yet we're training. We're training right now. Even though I haven't even talked about the market yet. Because we're dealing with you, the individual. You have to deal with yourself. You realize that. So even once you begin to understand the mechanisms and the way that the nuances of the market works and how you're looking at the market and how you're beginning to interpret the way that it moves, all of that is excellent. That you're starting to get it. But the most important stuff that you're beginning to actually get is how to deal with yourself. How to begin to control your emotions, your reactions, your responses. You're getting butterflies in your stomach less. Oh, well, Mark, well, you know, I was practicing and I was looking and blah, 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 and I feel good about it, but I'm scared to take a trade. Well, did you see a trade to take? Oh, you know what? Actually, no. So how you know you're scared to take a trade when you haven't seen a trade yet? You see what I'm saying? So, like, this is how everything unfolds. The training is very powerful, and it is very, very strategic. Because the constant reverse engineering of people who come into training helps to elevate the whole thing. So now when new folks come in, we're constantly reverse engineering everybody who comes in. So when you guys get here, I'm getting a feel for what it is that you're weakest at. And that's what we focus on. So now, when the next person who comes along, who might be in a very similar situation as you, the learning curve for them is much easier because we broke it down because of you. You see? So each one of us is helping to elevate the whole process, and that's how the evolution continues to take place. That's why we keep elevating. Every time that you hear training, be like, man, that training was fire. It can't really get much better than that. And then it gets better. How is that even possible? It's because it never stops. It's ongoing. The reason that we elevate in training is because we're elevating collectively as a group. Well, how are we doing that? We keep addressing the weaknesses that we have instead of just dwelling on them. Like, don't accept weakness. If you know that you ain't got no patience, that's unacceptable. You can't say, well, I don't got enough patience for this. Like, you realize how ridiculous that sounds, right? You don't have enough patience to win and to learn how not to lose? Is that what you're saying? I don't have the patience for that. You don't have the patience for what? Because that's what you're saying. I don't have the patience to learn how not to lose anymore. It doesn't even make sense. So you're being forced to deal with yourself because you're dealing with the market. The market is forcing you to confront yourself and your fears. And that's why everything begins to flip over time. That's why, if you notice, people in the group, and it's sounding, I mean, like it's coming up so much more now. Out of nowhere, somebody would just come out of nowhere and be like, whoa, you know, it's been a while, but I think I'm actually starting to understand things now. And some of you are looking at the person like, well, we don't even know who you are because you ain't even been around. You see what I'm saying? They're just getting into the group chat now and engaging and interacting with us. But they've been training the whole time. Press play. Months. And this is the way that it works. So, again, training needs to just stay on repeat. You just need to constantly be listening to it. Because that's how you're going to learn. The learning process takes place through repetition. You're learning something very powerful. And the majority has to do with you learning how to deal with yourself. That's why it's so powerful. Because you're not just learning about the market. The market is helping you to learn about yourself. It's a mirror. Well, Mark, I tried to take a trade and I lost. All right. Was there MRMH when you took the trade? What's MRMH? You see what I'm saying? Like, this is so easy now to direct you and push you into where you need to go. It's very simple to do it now. Because I'm going to ask you the same question. If you present whatever you're doing in the group, everybody's going to hit you with the same question. It ain't going to be a different question. If you say, yeah, I'm 4-0, we got a question for you. You're 4-0. When? Today? Yeah, I'm 4-0. I think that's good. I'm good for today. You're good for today. Okay. When did you take the first trade? Oh, I took the first trade 10 o'clock this morning. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Was there MRMH? What's MRMH? Got you. As soon as you say what's MRMH, you just gave away that you're not training properly. You need to be training until that's not a question that is even valid for you. Like, for somebody to ask you what's MRMH, or for you to say what's MRMH, or to hear someone else say that, you'll be offended. When you feel offended when someone says that, that's how you know that you have it. Because anytime somebody says that, I'm offended. And I won't say anything. I won't have to. Because everybody in the group is going to jump all over you immediately. And they're going to be like, what? What's MRMH? And they're going to have one response for you. It's going to be 301. They're never going to say nothing else. It's just going to be the number 301, and you're going to see fingers pointing at the number. You just see 301, 301. Everybody will say 301, 301, 301, 301, just like that. Exactly. Exactly. Do you even train, bro? Adam said, I just say a word for 3 months now, don't shut up. That's how it goes. That is how it goes. And it's awesome. Like, it really is awesome. As I'm talking also, you guys can feel free to ask questions about anything. Please do. If you don't understand something about the protocol and what we're doing, I want you to please ask questions about it. Even if it's the same question that you asked the other day. Even if it's the same question that you asked yesterday. If you don't have it, if you don't understand, ask the question. I'm telling you, the best stuff comes out of the questions. Trust me. All right, so anyway, so let's get into some training. I know I keep saying that, but for whatever reason, I keep dwelling on dealing with yourself. Like that right there is such a is just a constant. It's a constant, and it's a very powerful realization that you are either going to have, or many of you already have it now. That's why you just let me keep going on about it. Like you're not interrupting me, because that's where you are right now. You're in that zone, and this is just continuing to feed you while you're on that vibration, because it's very powerful to be there. It's like you know that you're dealing with yourself. You just know it every day. You just train. You're in the group chat. If you're not in the group chat, you're training. If you're not training, you're back in the group chat talking about what you're going to train on next. Like it just never stops. And the reason that you feel, so energized, that exactly, train or die, that's it. It's like there's nothing else. The reason that you feel so energized about it is because of what's at the end of when you elevate. The end of the elevation is freedom. And see, when we talk about that, just think about what freedom represents for you personally. Like, what does it mean? What does freedom mean for you? When you start to think about that, that's when you get emotional. Because some of you are very passionate about what freedom means for you. And that's really how everybody probably is. Some are, they have more trouble hiding it than others, but you know what freedom means for you. And you hold it so dear and so close to your heart. You see the same level of passion that you have for freedom. You have to have the same level of passion for the thing that's going to take you there. That's why we are the way that we are. Because this is the vehicle that's taking you to freedom. Everything that we do, everything that we talk about. Adam said, and we see the dude who does the training talking about how much he trains. Powerful. That's it. Because, and it's so funny. It is so funny to me that the way that the majority of people think, because of the way that society is kind of set up and conditioned people to kind of think about things, they're like, well, if you have it already, then you don't, like, why do you got to keep training? You know what I mean? Like, they think like that. And it's like, what do you mean? You can't even be serious. Why would I train less if I'm successful at doing it and I love it? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. Who does that? Like, where does anyone do that? If you a chef and you love cooking, you love culinary arts, right? It's not that you love food. You may not necessarily even love to eat. You love the process of cooking food, the presentation, the way that you prepare the food, who you're preparing the food for, the way you set up the table and the forks and the position of the knives. You know what forks and what knives go where, depending on what you're serving. You know what a salad fork looks like versus a regular steak fork. You know what the steak knife looks like. You know how to prepare. You understand what I'm saying? It's a level of passion that you have for what you're doing. Now think about that same level of passion, right? But your passion is freedom. Like, think about it. What if your passion is being free? You never thought about that like that, right? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, some people have that passion for the thing that they love and that they enjoy. Some people love freedom. I love freedom. So the very thing that led me to freedom is what I'm passionate about, because they're intertwined. They're one and the same to me. You see what I'm saying? They're not separate things to me. This represents freedom to me. And I love freedom the way that the chef loves to prepare escargot. So that, you know, that might help to get a little bit more perspective on why. Why? Like, well, damn, why does he train like this? Why is he telling us to train like this? I don't know. You know, if you like freedom the way that I do, you're going to do it. Matthew said, same energy for the first step as you do for the final steps, similar to a marathon runner. Come on, man. Walker, do in abundance, have in abundance. Adam said, I don't trust anyone who doesn't like to eat. Oh, goodness. Steve said, that is professionalism. Yes. Yeah. See, now, and look at what Steve said. Now, when him saying that, just now when I was talking about the chef, the person looking at the chef is like, damn, he's a professional. You basically just identified the person with passion as a professional. The chef has passion for what he's doing, and you call him a professional. You see how they're connected? That's what the professional represents. The person passionate about what they're doing is a professional at what they do. And Matthew definitely hit it on the head. It ain't nothing like it. I don't understand how people really can. I don't know. It's just, you can't stop who you are. And once you realize who you really are, then that's when everything opens up as far as what you do and how you execute. There's no differences. It's like it's all one and the same to you. And that's what I'm saying about, like, the way that I look at this and freedom. Like, they're not different or separate things. They're one and the same to me. So I'm very passionate and overprotective of this. Yeah, behavior looking a little crazy right now. Out of nowhere, right? It was doing this, and then, beep. Yep, that is our prized market. And remember, guys and gals, if you have questions, please interject and ask questions along the way. I've been trying to talk about market stuff this whole time, and for some reason, I just haven't gotten to it still. All right, so let's talk about the protocol. So our protocol consists of 3 phases. 3 phases in the protocol. On this particular platform that we use, this is the Nadex platform, and we're trading specifically 5-minute binary options. The market that we look at, GBP USD, or the pound dollar, Great British Pound, versus the US dollar. Let me read what Matthew was saying real quick. He said, the people that I've seen come in and get in line right away seem to be of a certain personality type. They are very structured people amongst this group. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's like, what's that saying? The cream rises to the top. Like, that's very true. Some people are just inherently built a certain way. So it's not that it's easier for them to do it, but they are more cooperative with the process because they are cut from the cloth, so to speak. It's like if you're cut from the cloth of really wanting to have freedom, and that's the cloth I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about the market, because you got to understand that there are people right now successful at what we do who didn't know anything about the market when they came here. So it wasn't the market that they were passionate about. What could they be passionate about? They don't even know anything about the market. You see what I'm saying? It's the freedom. And that's what I mean as far as the, being cut from that cloth. Some people say or think that they want freedom, but they don't. It hasn't hit them yet as far as what the freedom really means and what it really represents for them. And what begins to happen, you get glimpses and little tastes of what the freedom feels like, what it smells like, what it looks like, by being more and more exposed to what it is that we're doing. Because throughout the process, you're learning how to develop certain things that represent what leads to freedom. Like, don't you realize patience and discipline lead to you becoming free? Like, think about that. Patience and discipline create structure in your life. When you have structure in your life, don't things seem to have a tendency to work a lot more smoother than not? Like, think about people that wake up the same time every morning. Structure. They're disciplined. 6 o'clock on the dot, they wake up. And they go right into their routine. Boom, 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 like it's nothing. Whatever appointments that they have, they're going to be on time for. Why? Because they have structure. Well, how do they have structure? Because they have discipline. See how it all ties in together? So that's why it becomes easier when you begin to develop those things. As you develop patience and discipline, structure comes. When structure comes, organization comes. Organization comes, and it just keeps going. And ultimately what they all lead up to is you literally being free because you're not enslaved to anything that is holding you back from doing what you want to do. And that's what the freedom ultimately means. You're in position to do whatever you want to do, and you can do it without restriction. Money ain't in the way. Like, nothing is in the way. Nothing is in the way. Matthew said, people don't realize that freedom is not free. You have to work your ass off to get it. And that's the part for some that they are afraid of the working part. When they realize what the work entails, they're like, oh, I don't have the patience for this. And that's what I'm saying about what you're actually saying. For you to say, I don't have the patience for this, like I said in the beginning of training, you're literally saying, I don't have the patience to learn how not to lose anymore. And it's like, well, damn, well, who wouldn't want to not lose? Some people don't want it bad enough. Some people don't want it bad enough yet. I think that's an even better way to look at it. Some people have to go through a lot more bullshit in life to appreciate actually wanting to be in that position. You know what I mean? Like that, I think that probably makes more sense. Some people have to go through way more in order to get to that level where they appreciate it enough to want it more than all of the nonsense that they're going through in life. Matthew said, work is your only payment needed to get through the gate. It's more than worth it. Steve said, I'll take their money on the other side of the trade all day long. That's it. That's it. And you know, it's very simple for us. When the money ain't there, we leave it alone. We keep it ours. And see, that's another thing, too, about discipline. When you're disciplined, that's part of the reason why you won't lose. You're not gonna give in to the temptation of wanting to possibly win. Oh, this looks like I might be able to win this one. We're not even thinking like that. We looking and we watching until we're like, there's money. It's not even a win-loss thing anymore. It's just, there's the money. Imagine that. Imagine being in that position where you can watch these charts. You know exactly what we're doing as far as the protocol that we follow to get in position to wait for money to come. And that's what your job is. That's all you do every day. Money come or it don't come. And if it don't come, you keep the money you have. Come on, man. Like that's a position of authority. And you know how like people will look at someone and they'll be kind of envious of them, like, damn, I wish I could do that. And it's like, well, you don't have to wish that you could do what you see us doing. The training is here to teach you what you need to do in order to put yourself in the same position. You see? Like it's here. You're here already. Adam said the Bible says no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. So many nuggets in the Bible. There's nuggets all day in there. Goodness. And it's so, you know, like that's one of the things too that I like to pride myself on understanding, is understanding how practical everything is. If it's practical, it means that anybody really is in position to do it. But it's kind of like if you haven't been told or haven't been shown that it's possible for you to do it, you would have never even known that you could do it. And then once someone actually shows you that you can do it, then they show you how you can do it. It's like the only thing that's left to complete that puzzle is you. The only thing left is for you to actually do it. You see that it can be done. You see how it can be done. And then you're given the how to. Come on, man. It's like there's nothing else. That's the work part that we were talking about a moment ago. That's the price you have to pay. It's work. Train. And it's not like it's work that you're not used to doing. And what I mean by that is you're always learning. You got to realize you've been learning since you've been here on earth. It's what you're learning. Uh-oh. When you start to dissect and actually pull yourself apart, you begin to see what you've been learning all this time. That's why the market helps you to see yourself so much. Because the benchmark is how you're responding to everything that you're seeing. Market is letting you know how greedy you are. Market is letting you know how much patience you don't have yet. And when you put that together, you're like, well, damn, I don't have no patience, and at the same time, I'm greedy as hell. No wonder I've been losing. Yeah. That's the recipe for losing right there. Same way somebody walk into the casino. First of all, why are you even in the casino trying to win the casino? You go in there with that mentality. You're not going there to chill out. You're going in there, you trying to win. And you're trying to win by taking it, by force. And what happens is instead of you taking it, you become the victim instead of the victor. Matthew said it's a simple transfer of energy from someone else's goal into your own. Bingo. Bingo. And he's making reference to what I was saying a moment ago about somebody showing you that is possible, then somebody showing you how to do it. Now, you take that blueprint and make it happen. And that's all you have here. Like, that's what Team Alliance represents for you. It's the blueprint. And it's very simple. Like, this is not hard at all to do. Trust me. It really is not. If you train, you're going to be doing it. If you train, you'll be doing this. You eventually you will just do it because you don't even know anything else. When it comes to these markets and what we're doing on the chart, you're not even going to know anything else other than what it is that we're supposed to be doing. That's why when you train at a high level, it gets into your system. It's like something getting into your bloodstream. Once it's in your bloodstream, it's in you. You cannot get rid of it now. It's running through your veins. That's why this works. Man, I wish I could trade like Mark. No, you don't. You really don't. I'm not even doing anything special. I'm doing the same thing that you are being trained to do. I've just learned to be more patient than you. Guess what? You train, you will develop the patience that you need to have in order to execute the same way. I'm not even on the charts all day. Don't you realize most of the time I'm not on the chart? By the time I come on the chart, it's in the afternoon. Like and this is good actually to talk about because it kind of helps with those that like want to have an idea of, well, Mark, when's the best time to get on the chart? Don't you notice that I don't even get on the chart until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon? And usually when I get on, like I'll go on live on YouTube or Facebook or something. And then I'll be engaging with everyone. That's when I come on the charts. Then I might come back on the charts, maybe 6:45, 7 o'clock, and repeat the process. Then we'll be on and we're watching during training, shortly after training, and then we go to bed. Now, put that in perspective. Like, how much time is that? Let's say from 2 o'clock until not even 5 o'clock, because I don't even watch that long. Once 4:30 hit, I'm off the charts. So if I'm watching the charts from 2 to 4:30, that's about 2.5 hours. And the majority of that time, if I'm on live, we're not even on the chart. We're talking about a whole bunch of other stuff that don't have nothing to do with trading. But we're executing. We're on the charts. I'm right there looking at the charts with everybody. We know what we're waiting for. If we get it, we talk about it. Oh, we got MRMH. All right, cool. What time was it? Oh, it was a 2:45. All right, cool. Let's see if we get a follow-through trade. How's the market looking? It's looking pretty good. Nope, I didn't like how that one looked. Oh, man. We got to watch this behavior. It's starting to speed up again. We got to wait for this speed cycle to slow down. We're literally talking through it. And we'll do that, and then we'll be talking about movies or something else while we're going to live. I was like, really? Mind you, like, if someone, like people, when people come on, if I'm on live that are not in Team Alliance, they'll come on, they'll be like, yo, I thought this was talking about trading. Y'all over here talking about donuts. Like, it could be whatever we talking about at the time that has nothing to do with this, but yet we're still doing this. How is that possible? How are we talking about Dunkin' Donuts, but we still in the chart? That's what I'm saying about the training. It's because of the level of the training. That's why I don't have to be on the charts all day. Most of us are not on the charts all day. You don't have to be. The more that you train, the easier that the process becomes. I could wake up in the middle of the night if I wanted to. There's times where I literally don't go to bed, and if I'm up 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and MRMH is on the chart, I see it, and if a follow-through trade comes, I take it. 2-something in the morning. That doesn't mean I got to stay up every night until 2-something in the morning. I just happened to be up that night at 2-something in the morning and took the trade. because the trade came. This is what I'm saying. Training allows you to be in that position. For some of you, look at what Jay Carley does. Even Matthew. They'll be on the charts early. 6, 5, 7 a.m. They got a good night's rest, right? They got a good night's sleep, and they woke up 6-ish. Got on the charts. If there's an MRMH, they post it in the group chat. Go in the group chat and look early in the morning. If you see an MRMH, either Jay Carley posted one or Matthew posted one for the Aussie. And you'll be like, oh, snap. Damn, they was up at that time? Yeah. That's what they do. You see what I'm saying? So it can happen whenever when you have the skill. Well, how do you get the skill? The training. Come on, man. Like, see, and that's what I'm talking about as far as freedom. It's freedom. It means you can do what you want. Well, Mark, I don't know when the best time to be on the best time is whatever time you have to be on the chart and watch and observe. That's the best time. Because any time that you're on the chart it's classes in session. The market is teaching you. Not because you're trading, but because you're in observation mode and you're applying the process that we use, the protocol. If an MRMH presents itself, you will see it. If the MRMH does not present itself, you're studying. You're looking at what the market is actually doing and becoming better at recognizing nuances. Holly said light bulb going off. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. Walker said he just hired his computer to be on the charts for him. Keeps him efficient. And then we got all of these tools at our disposal. We got folks recording. So if I'm in the group chat and I say, yo, did you see that at such and such time? Someone literally can go and get a recording of that trade setup and how the market looked at that time, and we can all look at it. Let's take a look at it. Let's see if it was MRMH. Oh, no, I saw a back tick. All right, so that wasn't. Oh, no, it was too fast. Nope, that wasn't it. Instead of having to guess. Like, look at all of the stuff that we have available to us. This is what I'm saying about the group. This is what we do collectively. So not only do you have the training, but then you got the resources in the group to back it up. You can learn how to record yourself. None. Adam is saying there's no reason for anybody to fail. Absolutely no reason. None. Like failing is not even an option. If you're struggling and you're having a hard time, it's only because you're not training enough. You don't need to train less. You need to train more. Well, Mo, I've been training for 5 months. I'm not where I want to be yet. Me neither. I'm not where I want to be either. I'm going to get there. Why am I going to get there? Because I'm not going to stop till I get there. Somebody was talking to me the other day, and he was like, damn, yo, you been trading 26 years? You a millionaire? I said, nope, not yet. Now, look at how big that is, what I said to him, though. I said, no, not yet. In other words, I'm not mad that I'm not a millionaire yet. You on the outside looking in, and you don't have the context to know why I'm not a millionaire yet. And I don't care about it either. You see what I'm saying? I don't care about that. Me. And if you put that in perspective, think about how someone else is thinking. Man, if I was doing it for 26 years, I would be a millionaire. No, you wouldn't. You would have quit. Because you quit now with what you do. You can't do shit for a week without giving up. How you would have been a millionaire in 26 years? And that's what I'm saying. See, and for a lot of people, to them, in their mind, they're like, well, damn, you know, I want to be a Why do you want to be a millionaire? You don't have to be a millionaire to be free. Ooh. Oh, shit. Now that switches it up. It's like, whoa, I ain't think about it like that. Think about it. What does freedom represent for you? Self-awareness, man. Self-awareness. Walker said enough signals would have got me there. Benito said all you have to do is train and the market gives you trades. That's it. Come on, man. Come on. That's the freedom right there. This is powerful stuff. This was another one of those trainings that was just necessary, because sometimes it's just necessary to kind of go into things just to help to expand your thinking. Sometimes that's just what you need, is just to hear it. It's powerful stuff, man. People be stressing themselves out, like trying to, and it's like, okay, why do you want to stress yourself? Why? Why are you stressing yourself out? Yeah, it surely did. It surely did. Matter of fact, let me start boxing this in while I'm talking. My question always is, why does somebody want to stress themselves out? The idea of having freedom is to relieve stress, remove it. When you're enslaved, when you're bonded to something, that's stress. People be stressed out trying to, like, I don't even know what they be doing. Man, I gotta make some money. I really don't even know what you're trying to do. Why are you rushing to try to do something and you're in position to fail at doing it? That doesn't make much sense. The very thing that you're trying to do is the very opposite of what you're going to do. You're trying to make money. You're going to end up losing money. And you've proven that to yourself repeatedly. Why do you continue to do it? Adam said, you only got 3 choices in life: give up, give in, or give it all you got. Walker said, we could teach ourselves to relieve stress or allow ourselves to relive it by doing the same stress-inducing things. Holly says, observation equals feet in the river, and trade equals the river bringing you fish and dumping them at your feet. Your skill is the net. Break it all down. Break it on. I got to read that again. Observation equals feet in the river. The trade equals the river bringing you fish and dumping them at your feet. And your skill is the net. Wow. You catch it with the skill. Somebody was saying something about that earlier, about abundance. Come on, man. There's an abundance of of what the market is giving to us. And we're literally just waiting for it to give it to us. There's no stress in that process. The only stress is the stress that you're creating for yourself. You getting stressed out by waiting? Nah, don't let waiting stress you out. Holly says, feet out of the river is no observation or training. Put your feet in the water. And I like that analogy because esoterically, feet represent understanding because they stand under you, right? All throughout the Bible, that's what the feet represent. That's why they used to wash their feet before they went in the house. They want to cleanse their understanding before they go into a new house. Come on, man. Yep. Just from what I've been observing since, what's today, Monday? Yeah, since yesterday. The market has been doing funny stuff towards the end of many of the binaries. Just an observation. And see, it's little stuff like that that you notice and that you pick up on. You begin to actually accumulate data the same way that the computer does. Don't you realize that like what a smart computer does, it not only collects data, but it organizes that data into archives and files? It's like it puts it into a system so that when you run a search, the exact piece of data that you want pulls up. What we do is similar to that. As you observe the market more, you're recording. You're recording subconsciously. When you begin to see the market present a nuance of a type of behavior that it has done before, you can recall that behavior because you've seen it already. It's like running a search. It's like, all right, what's this? And you type it in, boom, it pulls up. You know exactly what it is. And the reason that that's so powerful is because the way that your brain works, remember that your brain is looking for reasons not to do stuff. Your brain is programmed defensively. It doesn't want to let stuff in. It wants to keep stuff out. You see? So when you observe the market and you're recording subconsciously, the recording is bypassing that part of your brain. It's slipping past that and going deeper. And it's going into the memory bank. So you're remembering the way that the market looked at that time. And when the market presents that same behavior again, or that nuance, you pick up on it quickly. It's the reason that you'll see, like Walker, at times, he'll say, yeah, well, I've been noticing that there's been consistency of the way that it's been behaving towards the end of the binaries, and, you know, the distance has been roughly about 3 micropips away from the strike consistently for 3 days. And it's like, well, wow, okay. Now, mind you, you know, when you do that, you're not even doing that intentionally. You're doing that because you're observing and you're able to process that information. So all of it is helping you to recognize whether you're getting closer to or further away from where you want the market to position itself. We know just by being on the chart and looking how close or how far away we are. That's basically what I'm saying. Now, we kind of far away from MRMH. Well, why would you say that? Well, the distance is all toe up, and we're not in sync. You'll have times where we talking like that. Then you'll have times where we like, yo, market is actually looking pretty good right now. We're going to see what happens. All we need is for this to happen. If this does this, then we may see MRMH. It's like, well, how do you know that? It's not that you know it. You're able to recollect from observation. This is just your brain working now, because your brain now is regulating the information. Remember that it's not letting everything in, but your observation is recording subconsciously. It bypasses that part of your brain. But then when you go to recall information, that's that part of the brain pulling the information, running the search. It has to run a search. And you'll say, man, yeah, I've seen this before. Yeah, I see how this is looking. Yeah, we shouldn't be too far actually from MRMH. All we got to do is get in sync. We need some stability. I was like, wow, okay. You just continue to get better. You just get better and better. Mm-hmm. Market is spurting. Even though it's slow, when you see those spurts like that, that's one of the reasons why it'll do a little funny behavior towards the end of the binaries. And then it'll be like on off. Like you'll see it on a binary, then on another binary, that binary will slow down and it might start holding. But the fact that that behavior is still there is one of the reasons why you can't confidently just randomly take a trade. It's the reason why people be getting their soul snatched out, because they're being tricked by the way that the market appears to look. But that's a nuance. That's a nuance. You know, we're the only ones that's picking up on certain things that the market does, and I know that for a fact. Like no one else is seeing it, and no one else cares, but we do. We do. It's the reason. And for some of you, it's the reason that you'll stay out of a trade. Just say, "Oh no, man! Phew, thank God for the parameters. Thank God for the protocol." Yeah, because you see what the market will do. The market just tore somebody up, tore them up. But it's not going to be you, because you are trained well. The psych moves is crazy. Yep, the psych moves are insanity sometimes. That's one of the most rewarding things too, is when you're waiting for the market to get in position. If the market does not want to get in position, turn that off, Josh. Turn that off. If the market does not want to get in position, it'll show you so many little funky looking things that'll keep you away, if you know how to recognize them. Like to the untrained eye, the market is just looking like, oh, market is slow. I can take a trade. Oh, let me look at the pricing. The pricing look good. And people will be going just off the limited perspective that they have. They're not really studying the market the way that we do. They don't understand behavior. They don't understand nuances. They don't understand the little subtle things that go on. And these are things that you begin to pick up on over time, just through observation and study. And a lot of the things that you pick up on, you don't even realize that you do. But you do them. And when you actually talk through, like what you're seeing on the chart, like that's one of the good things, too, that we do, is we literally will talk through what we're seeing. Just like right now, at this very moment. As soon as I look, I'm like priced out. Like I don't even think about anything else. As soon as I say priced out, I already know that there's nothing there. So now what I would do at this point is just observe what the behavior is at the end. And that's where you're starting to see, not even starting to see, but that's where you've been consistently seeing the funky type of behavior, the little subtle stuff that goes on. When you're looking and at the end it does something crazy, you're like, whoa. Like, damn. And it'll do in the last 5 seconds, 10 seconds. So where somebody might have been in the trade and they're like, yeah, I got it. Market decides to do something else and it does in the last 5 seconds though. So they might have been watching for a while and then they walked away. And when they came back, the market was on the other side of their line. You know, like all of that type of stuff goes on. So, telling you, it just comes with training and observing and studying. Like that's it. Like that's how you get better at this. And the better that you get, the more skilled you're becoming versus other people on the platform. And there's a lot of people on this platform trading. Like you gotta, like that's another thing too that we have to be conscientious of when it comes to the Nadex platform. Nadex is making it very easy for people to begin trading. The minimum is $250 to start, right? And it's predetermined risk. So people come on the platform, especially if they already have like a background in Forex, they come over here and they're like, yo, I might be able to do my thing over here. And a lot of them do. There's a lot of people that I'm pretty sure do well with different instruments, with various instruments on this platform, absolutely. But when it comes to these 5-minute binaries, this is the scariest thing for the average person coming over here, because it's like, oh man, you can lose so fast. And yeah, you can and you will lose fast if you don't understand this market. Because you not only do you have to understand the nuances of the way that the price is moving, you got to know how to take what the price is doing and then turn that into profits on the platform. So in other words, everything has to be in sync. Not just one or two things. Like look at this right now. This scenario, just let's use this as an example. Like you see how there's 3 minutes left on the clock? Now, there's somebody right now, right? They're looking at this line. They're like, all right, 29.41. What they do, they go back. They're looking at the line. They go all the way back. They're like, all right. So since 5:26 this morning, nothing has really gone on in this area. It hasn't been touched since about 5:30 this morning. And they'll go off that information alone, right? And they'll say, all right, I'm going to sell. And they'll sell with mad time left on the clock. They're looking, they're like, yeah, it's going to stay under there. They're basing their decision off of what? Support, resistance level? They're just taking this line and they're going back and they're saying, all right, it should stay under here. Well, why? Why should it stay under there? And why should it stay under there now? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not even enough. There's nothing that went into that decision other than the fact that they're thinking, well, it should stay underneath here. They're not going over anything other than that. And that's how people are trading. They're doing stuff like that. And it makes it so much easier because the market does what it wants to do. So if you're basing your decision to take a trade on just that, no. Nope. And that's when you'll see different, little subtle things that the market will do. Quick 350. And I know that that's getting home for somebody, because somebody does that. Somebody is basing their decision off of everything, just like what I just showed you. $350. 10,000 for $350. Nice. Insanity. But yeah, so did you guys have any questions, market related or otherwise? When you said we be singing, that's a DQ like a nursery rhyme. So we see a slow environment, behavior good, okay, apply parameters, see if there's an MRMH, if not, arms folded. That is about right. That's about right. Arms folded, money in the account. Money stays in the account. That is so powerful, man. That's a big part too of, like what goes on, because I prefer to be the tortoise in the race. I want to be the tortoise. Tortoise taking his time. Rabbit think he got it on smash. And you know how it ends. Tortoise is not stressed out. He's chilling. Environment right now is very nice. Environment is nice. Behavior don't look too bad either. Let's see how this one sets up when we get to the time. That's another way that I can gauge also when folks are training. when they don't have questions, really. Less and less questions. That's crazy. Muy interesante. Mm-hmm. This right here is a lot of information. You look at your option pricing, and you look at the position of the market itself. So here, right here in this example, you got 7 micros away underneath, and your option pricing, it was already priced out once you got under the minute mark. But if you look at what this is doing, this is telling you a lot more information than just the option pricing alone, because you see how the behavior right now at the end, right now it's actually getting a little bit more jerky than it was. Like if you look back at these two binaries, these two actually held. And here you're starting to see a little bit of shake, a little shake and bake right there. And then you combine that with the fact that your option was already priced out once you got under the minute mark. That right there is a lot of information as well. Because what you normally would assume is that the pricing, if it's priced out already under the minute, you think automatically that this is going to hold. And that's not necessarily the case at all. You see? That's why all of the pieces are so important, because as you watch and observe everything, you're picking up on little subtle things that actually go on. Little subtle things. Like that's subtle. That is very subtle, what that actually just showed us. Last minute of the market, last minute of the binary rather opened up. Pricing on the option was like $4 or $5 already. You had distance of 7 micros underneath the strike price. But if you look at what the behavior actually did, the behavior moved back up towards the line. But you never saw pricing here increase. It never went above maybe $8 or $9 at all during this whole movement. That's one of the things too that you'll pick up when you do the OPE as well. What you're doing is you're beginning to see how stability is presented on the chart. Stability plays a large role when it comes to the market being in sync, because the more stability that's there, the more in sync the market will become, meaning that it will set up. And if the behavior is not going out, you'll see that we're getting closer and closer to the MRMH. Like this is just little stuff that, you know, you pick up on, like I was saying. Mitchell is asking, in one of the training videos I came across paper trade on a live account. I thought you could only use real money on a live account. I don't have a live account yet, so I was hoping to know if it can be treated like a demo account, since demo and live indicatives are a little bit off. The indicative on the demo and the live are actually exactly the same. If you, on the demo account, if you look at the indicative from up here in the ladder, or you're looking at it on the ticket, it is the exact same price as it is on the live account. There is no difference. The demo account, if you're using that, you want to treat the demo as if it is your live account. So that means that you really should not be just taking arbitrary trades in the demo account because it's a demo account. You would want to take only trades that would qualify as if you were trading live. Like if you were using real money, that's how you want to treat the demo. But as far as paper trading, the live account, all that means is you would be writing down or recording what you're seeing as far as the protocol when you're looking at live account. So in other words, say you had live account open and there's no money in it. Paper trading just simply means to use the information that you're seeing in the live account. And more so, it would be relevant to option pricing. Like the option pricing is one of the most distinguishable differences between demo and live. Not the indicative. Indicative is the exact same thing between demo and live. What you will see a difference in is the option pricing many times between demo and live. On live, the option pricing a lot of times will go out much faster than it does on demo. So that's one of the more noticeable differences between demo and live. And as far as paper trading on live, it just simply means to write down what you're seeing on the live account when you run the protocol. So say, for example, you know, if a valid trade setup, you're in a live account. So you're going off of the pricing of the option in a live account for option pricing, okay? And your live account, you're seeing that you got favorable pricing on the option. So you're able to see at what point the option price is out. You can see how much time is left. You write all of that information down. What was the option price when it priced out? How much time was left on the clock when it priced out? If all the other parameters were met, write them down. How much distance did you have in total? You see what I'm saying? Did you have 5 plus 1 plus 1? Or did you just have 5 plus 1? Or did you have 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1? Like you write all of that down. Okay, you had no back tick, write that down. Favorable pricing, cool. What was the price when it priced out? Or went to 16.50? How much time was left on the clock? 42 seconds. That's paper trading. Yep, very good. Very good. Yeah, and that's a good question. That's a good question because I know that if you're asking that, then obviously I'm pretty sure that somebody else is also a little confused about that as well, as far as between demo and live, the indicative, whether or not the same thing. So just to reiterate, the indicative is the same. It's the option pricing that'll be different. The option pricing will be different between demo and live. You'll see that you'll be priced out on live much faster than on demo because the live account is showing real liquidity. It's not showing artificial liquidity in the market. It's not a demonstration. It's really what's on the platform. That's why there's such a disparity between the two at times. And then other times they're damn near, you know, the same thing. So, you know, it depends. It depends. But very good question. All right, so that should do it for tonight's training. You guys really didn't have a lot of questions. And, you know, to me, that's a very good indication that you guys are really doing a lot of training because your questions get answered in training so many times. The good part about when newer folks are asking questions is that we can go into whatever is the weakest point for the newer students. And that opens up a lot of clarity for us collectively as well. It's very powerful, in fact. So again, I definitely encourage you guys to ask more questions if you have them. In the group chat, that's where you want to ask questions when we're not on live training. Present your question in there, and your question will get a solid answer to it. We will be back on training tomorrow night, same time, same place. This training tonight should be available within about a half hour or so. And like I said, make sure that you stay connected in the group chat. Stay close to the fire. If you have questions, concerns, or issues, post them in there, and they will be responded to accordingly. And I will see you guys momentarily in the group chat. All right, so everybody have an awesome night. And love, peace, and soul. Y'all know what it is. All right, so I'll see y'all tomorrow, and I'll see y'all in the group chat shortly. Good night, everybody.